Hello, my friends. It's Black Maternal Health Week, and this is an issue that needs all of our attention, no matter your race or your parenting status. It's something that affects all of our communities, and we need to turn to. So, let's talk about it a little bit. First of all, the United States has the highest maternal mortality rate among high-income nations in the world. This is not a safe place to have a baby, no matter what your race. The World Health Organization defines maternal mortality as a death within 42 days after a termination of a pregnancy, so after birth. So this isn't something that happens only during pregnancy or only in the delivery room. This is an issue that extends far beyond that. Some other organizations list a pregnancy-related death as any death occurring within the first year postpartum. So that's a long time. And let's kind of break that down. In general, in maternal care, most women in this country have a checkup at 6 weeks, and that's it. And then no other doctor's appointments unless they reach out to schedule them. So there isn't a whole lot of follow-up. Things might be different if you're known to be high risk, but in general, that's not a whole lot. So within this sort of bleak environment, there's also this raging racial divide in this country. Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die of pregnancy-related death than any other race. That is insane. Can you imagine what it must feel like to be a black woman in the United States who gets pregnant and is feeling happy and is feeling excited about her baby, but also knowing that this statistic spans zip codes, it spans socioeconomic status. People like Serena Williams are saying that they had a near-death experience with their birth. I mean, it's everywhere. And it is so multifaceted, and it's such a complex puzzle. It's not just about access to care, although that's a piece of it. It's also about deep-rooted anxiety about medical systems, because people may have been treated poorly in the past. It's about chronic stress that goes along with systemic racism and the impact that that has on our heart, right, on our cardiovascular system. And it's also about a gross lack of postpartum medical and economic support. 25% of women in America are back to work within 10 days after birth. And that is a problem. That is a problem because she is not yet finished bleeding. Do you know our bodies start managing 40% more blood when we're pregnant? That's it. Our whole cardiovascular system changes when we're pregnant to accommodate this growing body. And then after birth, she's not even done bleeding. Like, things have not sorted themselves out. And 25% of women are back to work within 10 days. So that's just on the big scale. I mean, that is due to a lack of postpartum support in the economic realm. No paid maternity leave anywhere, unless you work for specific organizations. I mean, that is absurd. And it's heartbreaking, really. So those are just some of the reasons why this racial issue is so severe, with black mothers experiencing an entirely different world in terms of having babies, in terms of feeling confident in the system that people used to die in childbirth, but they don't anymore. I mean, as a white person, I know that I trusted that thought. And if I think about what black women, what black mothers must feel That's not something that they can trust in this country. So what can we do? This is the hard question. I mean, just making a donation now and then, no, that's not really enough, but it is something. It's a place to start, getting to know some of these organizations that are boots on the ground, serving women, serving mothers, addressing racial disparities, addressing socioeconomic disparities, just getting in there and doing the hard work, supporting those organizations. That is a place to start. And while you're in there making your donation, read what they have to say and share that with the people in your world. One of the organizations is the Black Mamas Matter Alliance. They are the reason for Black Maternal Health Week. They created this, so they're a good one to start with. That's where we've donated from our Strong Beyond Birth courses. All the course proceeds go in, not all of them, but 10% of them go into a donation for Black Mamas Matter Alliance. So I really appreciate all the information that they include on their website as well. That's a great place to start. There are also our doulas are a huge tool in this world, right? Doulas advocate for women. Both prenatal, birth, and postpartum doulas are advocating for the women that they serve. They are a voice that knows the system and can be loud when they need to be. So supporting a local organization of doulas that supports Black mothers. There's also the National Black Doula Association, I believe. They're a great resource if you need a doula to support somebody that you know or love or yourself. I would say also be there for a mom that you know. Check in with her, see how she's feeling, be consistent with your check-ins, and help her get help she needs. Being really, really tired is a sign of having a newborn, and it's also a sign of cardiac issues. So if your gut is telling you she needs to be seen, help her get seen. I also want to say, consider physical therapy. OBs and midwives are busy, right? There is a breakdown in getting more follow-up care because they don't really have the room. They're treating pregnant women and they're catching babies, and this maybe isn't the question of follow-up care after a birth is, yes, falls in their hands to some degree, but it also can be shared. Most postpartum pregnancy-related deaths and issues have to do with the cardiovascular system. So physical therapists are well trained in identifying red flags and getting people to see the right provider, getting into the care that they need, catching these issues as they arise. So if you're a provider, or if you know a mom that just had a baby, there are physical therapists that specialize in postpartum recovery, but really every physical therapist is trained to look for the signs and the red flags. So we're helping mom move, but we're also taking her blood pressure. And we're also watching. We're looking for signs. We're asking her how she's feeling. We're listening for symptoms that indicate something could be amiss. She could be at risk. So if you're a provider, consider suggesting physical therapy. It's an absolute essential for any mom. It only makes sense to have somebody guide your return to fitness, right? Or even just movement, your return to human life. And at the same time, we are her contact point, at least for that weekly check-in, to make sure that she's recovering well and she's not developing issues along the way. You can also, if you're a mom, if you've recently had a baby, you can donate your used support belts and garments and compression and all of those tools that you use to help you be more comfortable. Think about when you were in a whole lot of pain and your body was just like this and you're like, oh, like think about what you're doing with your heart, all of your stress, all that extra cortisol, that is not helping anyone. So if we can help them be a little bit more comfortable just by donating your belly bands, your sacroiliac belts, your compression shorts and leggings, your postpartum compression garments, all of those things, I'm collecting those in the Asheville area to donate to a local doula organization that serves Black mothers. And you can also look around in your community to see if there's a similar organization that might benefit from such support. So if you're local or if you want to ship, then contact me, but otherwise call around, find a doula organization near you, or a midwife birth center, or some kind of a place that will be looking for this type of stuff, and you can consider donating your gear. All right, keeping it real on a Saturday. I appreciate you sticking this out with me and considering it as you go on the rest of your day, and think about looking at the links that I'm going to post in the comments and making your own donation. All right.